Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
The icon of icons.
How are you, my
Chevy,
friend?
may I kneel
that's
before
okay.
a comedy god?
No, you.
Please.
That's it. I have
Okay, I won't slobber over you anymore. I mean, I may verbally, I won't do it from my mouth.
Anything
but
you like.
I'm so flattered that you would come here to Club Ren, to my little.
I lived here practically. I mean, across the street, really.
Oh, you mean this neighborhood?
Yeah.
Oh,
where?
Well, well, let's not give
Scared
away.
the shit out of me.
Well, let's not give away my undisclosed location, but yeah, it's a lovely neighborhood, isn't it?
What's the actual address here then?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's the thing about you, Chevy. You were always very funny. I mean, like
I still am.
You know, I know. By the way, I saw that movie you did with Burt Reynolds. Like,
oops.
What?
Oh, what the hell was that?
It was called like The Last Movie Star.
The Last Laugh? No.
The Last Movie Star, Burt Reynolds.
With Burt Reynolds, yeah.
It was recent. Just before he died, he was basically playing a version of himself. You were his best friend.
He was actually dying during it. It's really.
Well,
it's a sad thing to
sadly,
say.
Yes.
But
I mean, man,
that's when I learned what a great actor he is.
He is a great actor. And it looked like he was a great real friend. I mean, I kept thinking, why did they have, I mean, I would not have like sort of guessed, oh, look, the perfect person to play the foil to Burt Reynolds, Chevy Chase, but it turned out it was.
Yeah. I don't have any idea what it was about him.
You never saw it?
No, I never saw it.
Okay, can I tell you? It's really good. You should see it. It's really good.
Okay,
he basically plays himself. In fact, they use clips of him when he was young throughout the whole thing. Who's now like he was at the time. You know, obviously, this is not a business where you can be on top forever. So now he's 80, but he
declining. Yeah. By the way, I'm almost 80.
What?
Kiss me. I'm serious.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 78. I'll be 79 in a month or so.
Yeah, but you look very svelte. I mean,
thank you.
Really?
By the way, you look svelte.
I said swell. No, but yeah, you do. You look. I mean, I've seen you much heavier, and you look like you're.
That was quite many years ago. Yeah, I've been like this for 15 years. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, time flies, huh? But let me tell you about this movie that you're in.
Oh, but are you stoned to the bejesus like I've been hearing?
Well,
will you be?
I don't think we need to bring Jesus into this, but I may have had a clove cigarette earlier in the day. I don't know what they're I don't know what they're putting in.
Listen, don't you think I was there for many, many years? My gosh.
I don't know what they're putting in these cloves, Chevy.
Yeah.
But it is fantastic. I say it every week. I can't say it enough. They should really sponsor this show. But I'm going to get this out if it kills me, because I really think you'd enjoy this movie. So you're Burt Reynolds' best friend. This was only a few years ago.
Can't be that funny.
It's funny. It's touching. And especially since Burt really did die right afterwards, which is what in Hollywood we call a great ending. It's quite meaningful.
Hi. Yeah.
So Burt he's this old guy. And without you, there's no movie, because you convince him to go to, I think it's Memphis, where they're having a film festival. Maybe it's Nashville.
Yeah.
Right. He gets this offer. The Nashville Film Festival wants to honor you in your amazing career. Yeah. And he's like, fuck it. What are they? And you go, no, it's great. You know, you deserve these accolades. And he goes, and it's like 3 millennials who are putting on, they sent him a letter, and it's not really.
Worse, isn't it?
Right, it's not really a film fest. I mean, it's their version of one.
Yeah.
But he feels taken, and there's a whole thing with a young girl who is assigned to watch over him. And
well, see, when I said what a great actor, I was sort of kidding, because then there's this scene where he walks out onto the field that he'd played football on.
Yes.
And he's just remembering that period. And the camera's on his face for maybe 5 minutes while he remembers. And I remember now.
So you did see the movie.
Well, I guess I did. Yeah, I did.
That's okay.
But there he is out there. And this is the way he looks. That's it. That's Burt's shining moment.
Well, okay.
But no, I make fun.
Right.
But he's dead.
Exactly. Right. I always say the same thing. What does it hurt to be cruel if someone is either not there because they're dead or they're not in the room? Like, as long as they don't get wind of it or hear of it, I think there should be no limits on how cruel.
Well, I know he's not going to get wind of it, but but
exactly.
You know what? I'm making fun of. Obviously, he had an incredible career.
Oh, so great.
And was the girls loved him.
Oh, I loved him. He was that handsome guy. You too, the handsome guy who played against type. You know, there's nothing sexy. Ryan Reynolds does it now. You know, sometimes Ryan Gosling does it. Cary Grant did it. When you're the good-looking guy, but you act like the guy who's not the good-looking guy, that's like now you got him coming and going. Warren Beatty.
Warren
did it.
You know, now you just reminded me of when I was on the Tom Snyder show. Remember that show?
I did it a million fucking times.
I was on that, and
yeah,
and
he would be smoking
yes, he did.
the whole time.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, he said, people say you're going to be the next Cary Grant, and I said that's crazy. There's nobody like Cary Grant. There will never be another Cary Grant.
Right.
And I understand he was a homo. One of the stupidest things I've ever said. But
it's funny.
It was very funny.
You were always funny. I've never once.
It was the worst thing I could have said, though.
Well,
Cary wasn't alive anymore.
But again, who's hurt by that? That's always my question. When,
I agree.
When people lose their shit, who's hurt by that? Yeah. Certainly, you know, like homosexuals, come on. Among the best sensitive humor in the world, I think, are gay people. You know, they just are more, you know, urbane and you know, sophisticated. So,
by the way, I don't think Cary was gay. Do you think he was? I don't know.
Cary Grant, I think, was half a. I think there was a. I'm going to say this. I think he, at one time in his life, had a dick in his ass. Yes, I do.
Just a sec now.
No, that's conjecture, but he's just too good looking not to. He had that great white hair in his old age.
Oh, yeah, he looked great.
Always looked great.
Most handsome guy in the world.
Also, got off the stage at the right time. He didn't linger. You know?
Yeah.
There was no later years of Cary Grant.
Neither, by the way, do I. I'm glad we're very much alike that way.
You know what? Fuck that. I'm going to linger. They're going to have to fucking drag me out of show business because, like, what else are we going to do? And
I know.
And also, we're in the end of show business where you can do it in old age because it's not like singing where our voice goes. Funny, George Burns was doing it when he was 100.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't. I mean, George Carlin basically died on stage. Alan King.
Oh, well, I won't touch that, but
why?
No,
you didn't like George Carlin? Wasn't he the first host?
Was it George Carlin? Yeah, he was the first host.
Was he the first host?
Yeah.
Oh,
I loved him. He was a good guy and
such a great guy.
Yeah, good guy.
I have to tell you,
you don't have an Emery board, do you?
I do.
You lied.
What am I, Harpo Marx? Yes, here I've got a candle. I've got a swordfish, and I've got
Jesus, swordfish.
Remember, he used to pull the shit out of his coat.
Yeah.
No. Every time I see, who's the president now?
I think it's Biden.
Biden. That's the fellow. Every time I see him fall, like off the bike, he did one on the steps of
Joe
Biden.
He took a fall?
Off the bike.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Also, walking up the very steep steps to Air Force One.
Yes.
It's like he's doing your act. I mean, it's almost exact. That one watch the one on the Air Force One steps. It looks exactly like a cold.
When he was coming down or going up? He was going up?
He was going up, and then he went down. but it looks exactly like a cold open from 1975. You doing Gerald Ford. It's hysterical.
Oh, my God, Jerry.
Yeah.
I liked Ford in the sense that he was a nice fella, and he invited us to the White House, and God knows why, but he was a good guy. He was nice.
Yeah.
Just a Republican ass, but
Yeah.
beyond that.
Well, I mean, but look, not to get political, but that's what we have to get back to is not hating people.
Republican asses.
Well, I mean,
No,
you can
yeah.
think, you can think that about somebody. I think that about a lot of Republicans, always have, and a fair number of Democrats as well. But even the ones who I think are politically, yes, asses, I've known for 30 years doing the 2 shows I've done, they're often some of the nicest people. Like when you talk to them off stage and when it's not political and when you're having the drink in the green room.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is what America has to get back to, being able to do that. And just get over yourself thinking that
Any mail for me?
Mail, Chevy, we don't get the mail anymore. At least wake up and say, oh my God, is there a TikTok? Bring it up to date. What, you do TikTok now, don't you?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
No,
Yes, you do. I've seen
I
it.
don't follow any of that stuff.
But what you do it, you may not follow it. Like
maybe I do it, if you pardon the expression.
Yes, you definitely do it. Or else there can't be a Chevy impersonator out there.
No, I don't know.
Remember when they said Paul McCartney was dead? Do you remember that hoax?
I do.
Wasn't that amazing? I mean, it was. First of all, when they came here, everyone was gaga.
I know. Yeah.
So they were all like, they were like 21 years old. They looked like they had just won World War II for this country.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the love. So they were.
I've been jealous of them ever since.
Yeah,
I mean,
who couldn't?
Come
on.
on.
Is there any career in show business? I know everybody thinks that they have their version of the Beatles, Michael Jackson. Yes, I'm sure there are comparable in many ways, but I think you had to be there, and I was only 8 years old, so I'm vaguely piecing this together. But it seems to me that they did have a cultural impact. But again, maybe
look, it's about harmonies, literally musical harmonies. These guys had it right. You could say, even if you were a musician, say those are beautiful harmonies, and you could see how it affected people who weren't musical at all. It was just a lovely group of guys.
yes.
How could you not like them? Even Ringo. I'm sorry to say it that way. I'm sorry, Ringo. I know Ringo. I don't mean even Ringo.
No,
but I mean.
Well, Ringo. I mean, as far
why are we talking about the Beatles?
Why not? Because we have no agenda here. Why? What do you have? Something you have to plug something? What do you have a? Oh, you do have a movie, don't you?
Maybe I will plug. How about this shirt?
Jesus Farmers. Is that what that says? Jesus Farmers?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Who the fuck knows?
Right.
I just had it made. I had these made. They're going to go big. I'm sorry. You know how you see T-shirts.
Right.
You're not sure what it is or means.
Chevy, are you circumcised?
I used to be.
You used to be. It grew back?
What?
I mean,
oh yeah.
I've never heard that, but I suppose.
What, did I used to be?
No, that a foreskin could grow back.
Can it?
You just.
Do you have one? Do you have a foreskin?
That. Jesus, this is like being in an Ionesco play.
That's the worst.
What?
An Ionesco play. God, that's so easy. Jesus.
What does it even mean to you? Oh, no.
All you have to do is say Ionesco and
yeah, of course. Middle America perks right.
Yeah, that's right.
But don't you have a movie with Dan Akroyd coming up?
Oh yeah, we just shot in Canada.
You just shot it.
Yeah, I mean, literally a week ago I was there.
I hear Burt Reynolds is great.
He's the last person in it. Yeah. Oh, Danny's just. Do you know Dan at all? He's just wonderful.
I don't know. I always wished I did. I mean, as I do, I'm very
Chevy's going to be.
verklempt getting to be with you. But
Oh, no.
Dan Akroyd would be somebody else.
Oh,
I mean,
he's
I've
just
been a
great.
fan forever. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I was 19 when SNL came on the air. I was in college, just first having gotten stoned. It was my first fall of being a stoned person. So the combination of watching that show, thinking about getting into comedy, being stoned, and seeing this revolutionary gang take over and make me laugh, split a gut, and also do things I've never seen on television before in the time slot of my hero, Johnny Carson. But it was like, oh, wow, this could be something that is, you know, a step beyond him. I mean, he was great, but yes, he was getting on a little bit, and this was.
Who are we
like,
talking about? UNESCO?
Oh, Burt Reynolds.
Burt. Well,
Oh,
Johnny was a good friend, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I thought he was pissed at you when you were rumored to be like hot on his heels taking his job, because I remember that era.
That's really not him at all. I mean,
Johnny?
yeah.
Are you kidding? He exiled. He practically sent Joan Rivers to Elba because she dared to like go up
That's
against.
a funny concept. Joan Rivers to Elba, please.
Well,
Jesus.
that's where they sent Napoleon. You remember
Jesus.
Napoleon, right?
Gosh, I used to go with him.
You and I should write a Marx Brothers movie. Now, I admit there'll be a problem because they're dead too, but we could recast.
Did they? All of them are dead?
Yeah, they'd be like 100.
What about Dino Marx?
Dino, no. You're thinking of the Beach Boys.
Oh, that's it.
But, oh damn, what were we talking about?
Doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't.
I'll just
Really?
take a nap.
It doesn't really matter, but I could talk. Oh, I know. Your movie with Dan Akroyd and Dan Akroyd.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to be the one that.
He is what I used to say is the resident genius of Saturday Night Live.
I could see that.
I'm remembering
Yes.
Dan with at first with a painting that he was talking about as if he was like a museum guy or something.
Right.
Tied on his painting, and he's discussing the finer points of the painting, and the plants, this and that. And there's a nude woman in it. And he never talks about it, but that's all we're looking at. It's just
Right.
perfect, Dan.
That was a sketch?
Huh?
That was a sketch he did early on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Many sketches, obviously.
And I think your point is very well taken about being kind of a rock, because you could tell he was the guy who there's always one guy where you need to play like the dad, the authority figure.
Yeah.
And you can just tell who's kind of the rock.
Yeah.
And also the guy who gets along with everybody. I mean, you didn't get along with everybody else, maybe.
Well, Dan was the guy who got along with it.
Yeah, with everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like Ringo and the Beatles. And Ionesco. Okay, so, so I feel like and just the fact that you guys are still friends.
Sure.
After all these years. So
was John and I, but...
John Belushi?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well,
I'm just remembering John and his fucking drugs problem. But back then, the big drug was cocaine. And, you know, obviously John turned out to be a cokehead, as it were. But I had a little jar, of cocaine.
a vial?
Yeah, a little vial. And with a little spoon that hung from it.
Yes.
Nice.
I remember the spoon.
And
Some people wore it around their neck.
Really?
Yeah, like a cross.
No,
It would go well on your Jesus shirt.
Would Christ. Anyway, it's on I had it on the piano of the stage of Lemmings that we
National Lampoon's Lemmings.
Yeah.
Classic.
So I'm just playing the piano. The crowd isn't in yet. And it's just sitting. And after I played just a little bit, it's gone. No idea how or what. I obviously was looking at my hands or something at the moment that John swooped in and took it. So I immediately said, Belushi, did you take my Coke? No. Oh, what are you talking about? What, coke, what? So about a month later, I'm invited to dinner at John and Judy's apartment. And I'm there, and we're about ready to, and I see my little vial there, empty and washed, just sitting on a shelf there by the books. But so clearly,
Yes.
you know,
Oh.
God, he
I
was.
was going to defend him and say, you know, when you leave your Coke out, it's going to get stolen by someone.
Well, no, but
Well, because
it was right next to me.
I know, sure, but still,
Well, those days,
like drugs are an easy thing to steal because you can't report it to the police.
That's true.
So
That's true.
they do tend to walk off on their own.
I'm so glad I just put that stuff aside a long
Me
time
too,
ago.
because you wouldn't be here at 78 if you hadn't, because John died at 33.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think how long ago that is.
And that morning,
40 years.
He came, that morning, Janie, my wife, and I were in our house, and there was a knock on the door, and I opened the door, and there's like, it seemed like 12 news people, writers, and
media jackals. Media jackals.
Media jackals. Good, well put. Anyway, and how do you feel about the death of John? I didn't know yet.
Oh.
Death of John Belushi. It just shocked me. And there I was, stuck with these people. And, well, can we come in, Mr. Chase, and take your clothes off? I don't know what. It just really stripped me to the. But, oh, God, what a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And when John Candy died, well, John Candy was not a drug abuser. John was, but those are two of my best friends who died, that I really felt awful about.
Yeah, but I would say food is a drug. If that's what, John Candy.
Good night, everybody.
Why is that?
Food is a drug.
But it is.
Yeah.
It can be the worst drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you're right.
But he seemed like.
Look at Hillary Clinton. No, yeah. That's right. No, that's wrong. She didn't eat that much. Let me think.
Well, she has she balloons up. She's a little like Elvis.
She has?
Well, yes. She's a little like Elvis. She balloons up, and then when she has to go back on camera, she loses the weight. And then she does one of those terrible travelogue pictures, like Fun in Acapulco.
That's awful.
Oh, wait. That is Elvis. I'm sorry. Did you ever meet him? Ever meet Elvis? I hear he
No, but my wife saw him live. I met Sinatra.
Yeah, what was he like?
I liked him. I went to the last show that Sinatra had.
Ever?
In L.A.
In L.A. Did they know it was the last show?
Oh, yeah. It was
really?
Yes, his last performance. And I went with Marty Short.
Wow.
And Marty and I then proceeded to be put in a little sort of living room-like area like this or something, with maybe 20 people, all of whom expected to meet Frank or were friends of Frank.
Sure, they do that after every concert.
Yeah.
The celebrities go backstage, there's a little room.
Yep.
And then the great one comes out, whoever just did the show.
Yeah.
And you have to know exactly how to compliment stars of that level, because even a compliment that's not.
Don't you realize I was in the middle of a fucking story?
I'm sorry, you're right. Go ahead.
Anyway. No, you're right. I love you.
You mentioned Tom Snyder, so I feel like I'm doing the Tom Snyder. I'm setting it up.
Where do you think he is?
So you're backstage with Frank Sinatra.
No. Well, no, he comes in after, we figured, we just learned why he goes to bed at 5 a.m. every morning, because he wasn't even in there till 2. We're just sort of standing around.
What time did the show end?
Oh, probably 11.
So you were there for 3 hours before he showed up?
Oh, yeah.
What did you do?
I blew Marty. What do you mean, what did we do?
With that 3 hours is a long...
I don't know. I can't remember what we did.
Okay.
So we just,
So...
I had a drink or something. So anyway, he finally comes in.
Yeah.
And comes right up to me, he says, "Hi, Chevy. Hi, Frank. What are you drinking?" That's what he says right away.
Sure.
"What are you drinking?" I said, "Whatever you are, Frank."
Wow.
And so he points to the bartender and says, 2 lack portons. I don't know what. Some kind of drink. and black one.
Yeah.
And
it's a good one.
At which point I said, Frank, I'd love to introduce you to my friend, singer, very funny guy, Marty Short. And Marty is so taken by this moment that he goes, "Oh, Mr. Sinatra." And he gets that far. And Frank says, "I think I know. What are you drinking?"
That is priceless. I think I know. That is the best show business story ever.
Isn't it great? Yeah.
I think I know.
I think I know. What are you drinking?
Don't bore me with how great I am. I know. Yes.
Also, I don't want to make your work too hard.
Exactly. It's like, if we already both know this, why go through the motions?
Yeah.
We are brought to you by SignalWire, the real OGs of software-defined telecom. Remember that horror movie that's set entirely on a computer screen, where a mysterious user joins a group of friends video chat, tormenting them with secrets about a classmate that had recently died until they're all terrified? Talk about a shitty user experience. Well, if you're developing a product or app that features real-time communications like voice or video, SignalWire can help make sure your user experience doesn't turn into a horror show. Whether it's voice, messaging, or cutting-edge broadcast quality video, if it has to do with real-time communications, SignalWire has the APIs. With SignalWire, you can completely customize the user experience and integrate with an existing application or website with ease. SignalWire's ultra-low latency is essential for creating experiences where real-time really matters. Whether you're a developer, product builder, or just someone with a cool idea, SignalWire offers APIs, SDKs, and even copy and paste code snippets to help you make your vision a reality fast. Get cutting-edge video, voice, and messaging from the original geeks of software-defined telecom. Visit signalwire.com/random to sign up for a free account. Go to signalwire.com/random and build what's next in real-time communications. Go to signalwire.com/random. Hey, if you're a small business owner, you know how important it is to be ready for the insane holiday season. And if you haven't started preparing for the chaos of holiday mailing and shipping, you're already falling behind. Luckily, Stamps.com has everything you need to make your life a whole lot easier. It's the 24/7 post office that you can access from anywhere. No lines, no traffic, no hassle. Stamps.com is your one-stop shop for all your shipping and mailing needs. For more than 20 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. Get access to the USPS and UPS services you need to run your business right from your computer. With inflation on the rise, every dollar counts. Protect your margins with major discounts on USPS and UPS rates, up to 86% off. And if you're running an online store, Stamps.com works seamlessly with all the major shopping carts and marketplaces. Get ahead of the holiday chaos this year. Get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with promo code RANDOM for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the page, and enter code RANDOM. Hey, just doing a quick commercial in case you don't want to watch commercials. So meta. We have a subscription channel on Apple now called Club Random Velvet Rope, where you can get all the episodes ad-free, most new episodes a week early, full exclusive bonus episodes, and extra bonus content where I talk about whatever the fuck I want. Try it free for a week now. Just search Club Random on Apple Podcasts. Hi, it's me, Bill, the guy from the podcast you're currently watching. Just want to let you know that I will be performing at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden in New York, November 12th. Go to NewYorkComedyFestival.com for tickets. Thanks, and see you there. I mean, I won't see you probably personally, but you'll see me, and it's a great show. Anyway, that's nycomedyfestival.com for tickets. I happen to know Marty is a huge Sinatra fan because he and I both know this album that we can't find anybody else who knows this. I had to introduce this album to Seth MacFarlane, who is a Sinatra adorate. So this is called, he did it in 1969, it's called A Man Alone. Have you heard of it?
I have that.
Okay, you're the third one.
I just lied.
Oh.
But, okay, A Man Alone.
It's
perfect for him. That's
exactly. He was
the
about
hat on and the
well, also because I think it was right before he got married for the third time, so he was like 50. It was written by Rod McEwen, a gay man,
really?
who wrote a theme album called A Man Alone. It has talking parts in between the songs where Frank, you know.
Oh, I've heard this.
It's awesome.
I have it on my phone with Frank getting ready to sing. He's just talking about the song and the band with the band there. Is this true? Count Basie's band?
No, there's no band.
Okay, I don't want to discuss it. It's a nobody.
No, that's like the Vegas albums. That's like it might as well be swing. That's a great Sinatra. That's from the 50s. That's even before my time. I love that. But that's the one. Fly me to the moon. It's like the.
Ready? Fly me to the moon.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, I'm not finished. And let me play among the stars. Then he goes, let me something.
See what life is like on
a Jupiter and Mars. So he goes, a Jupiter and Mars. And, you know, at that point, I've just peed pants because.
Remember Richard Belzer?
Do I remember?
The great comedian.
What do you mean the great comedian? He took, you know what?
What? What did he do? Rob you?
I'll say.
He owes
no. When I was working with Ken Shapiro, we did Groove Tube and a number of those.
Groove Tube, yes.
Well, 5 years of that working with Kenny, and then finally I left Ken because he was kind of a prick, and Belzer took over for me and did my parts. He was awful, frankly, because I'm.
Well, he doesn't do what you do. That's true.
Handle.
But he used to have that funny bit in his act where he would say, "What all singers give you this move?" And then the way they tilt their head with everything's gonna be okay as soon as I get my neck fixed.
That's right.
That used to kill me.
I remember
my neck. You remember that bit?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. Catch a Rising Star. I used to walk in there sometimes.
Catch a Rising Star.
He owned that place. He was amazing.
In the city.
What?
In New York.
Yeah, it was at 78th and First. Rick Newman.
Congratulations. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I think I saw you. I think when I was starting out, you probably stopped by there a few times. It was one of those, oh my God, Chevy Chase is here.
I wasn't that.
Yeah, I got there in 79. You were well past.
Woody was there.
You were a movie star by 1979.
Okay, but Woody Allen. Always went there.
No, he didn't. Woody Allen was never there.
What are you talking about?
The Catch a Rising Star was on the Upper East Side.
What did I say? Woody Allen?
Maybe
I'm thinking about Elaine's.
Elaine's. It was a restaurant. Yeah. Yes, he
sort of.
Right. Sort of. No,
it was a restaurant.
It wasn't very good.
Okay.
And she was a lovely matron.
She was.
She reminded me of Margaret Dumont in the Marx Brothers movies. You know, the foil.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
You know, not that she was, a prig like that.
No.
No, but she had that sort of matronly.
Yeah. I porked her. Anyway.
Yes.
Did you hear what I said?
What?
Well, I porked her.
Oh, no,
I only wanted you to hear it because. How many people have used the word pork as a verb?
It's a great word.
It's a great verb
for
porking.
Yeah,
basically. No,
porking.
Don't say it.
Right. It's definitely not a word you want to use while you're porking, though. Right. You never want to say, "I'm going to pork you." It's like that is a direct turn off to a woman. I tell you.
You're such a good kisser. Can I pork you?
Yeah, man. After the third time I made that mistake, I said,
"Jesus Christ,
doing this ever again."
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Oh, Chevy, this is the problem. Now there's so many tangents that I wanted to complete with you, and
Okay. I won't say another word.
No. That's not what you want in a guest. I get it. Oh, Frank Sinatra. Let's go back to, so Marty Short and I, we love this album, and when we see each other, we like invariably break into the songs that no one else really knows. These,
Marty sings well too.
Oh, and he can sing them. But there's one song, it's one of my favorites. Seth MacFarlane said he would sing it together with me sometime because he likes to sing like that at his parties. It's called I've Been to Town. And it just, to me, says it all about the joy of listening to music written for adults. Because most of the music, when you're first getting into music, is written for teenagers, because that's who listens to it. It's like, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to.
See, I start with somewhere around Mozart. I don't know where the hell you start. Most of the music written for teenagers. Mozart. What the fuck?
Well, what teenager listens to Mozart? Where did you grow up? You listened to Mozart when you were a teenager?
Well,
no, you listened.
I couldn't help it. Yeah. I knew him. No, well, never mind. I'm just making fun of you. God knows I shouldn't. I can tell.
No, I love it. I take it as an honor. You could anything you hurl at me, I'm not going to wash it off my.
I'm not good at that.
I don't.
Oh, that's not true. I'm good at everything.
Yes, you're good at everything in comedy. But anyway, this song, I've Been to Town. And it's really just about a guy who's saying, because again, Frank was like 50 when he recorded this. And it's the metaphor for, I've seen it all. I can't waste any more time. He's talking to a lover of his, you know. And there's this lyric where he says, you ask me if I know the Milky Way. I do. And furthermore, I'd like to say, it's not milky white. It's dingy gray, especially when your world breaks down. Fly me to...
No, I hate it.
It's kind of genius, though. The balls to sing something that cynical and real in a song.
Also, he wasn't the smartest guy. I got to be honest with you.
He was actually a very smart guy. I mean, a big reader.
A big reader.
He was.
Yeah. What are you reading?
Well, mostly tattoos near girls' pussies, but still.
That's
it is reading.
Well said.
No. No, Frank Sinatra, besides being obviously the great vocal artist he was, had a huge movie career. He did 54 movies.
I know. By the way, I did 55. I just want you to know.
Okay. Well, we'll call you the chairman of the board then from now on.
Thanks a lot.
Anyway, I don't know why I'm defending Frank Sinatra.
No, you know what?
But he was nice to you.
Yes, Frank.
How about O.J.? Was he ever nice to you? Because people say
O.J.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
People say.
Well, his kids went to school with my kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they alive?
We lived in Pacific Palisades. No, and he shot 2 of them. No. It was a mistake. Anyway.
Right. Well, it's good to see he's not stabbing anymore. But
are we hearing a dog or laughter?
That's a dog laughing.
That's not.
Oh, that's a pretty good dog.
Thank you.
Yeah. What other animals do you do?
Anything I can get my hands on.
And when I say do, I mean have intercourse with.
I'm sorry. Of course. No, I said anything I can get my hands on. So we're both in the same bad way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there are people who do have sexual relations with animals. I mean, that's not...
Name one. Besides Seth MacFarlane.
Well, Ionesco was always... Rhinoceros. Why do you think the name of the play...
I know.
Is,
but, that hurt when he tried it.
Yes, it hurt the rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Wasn't there a joke about...
I have pain.
Really?
It's gone.
Okay. Chevy just live for another 20 minutes.
That's all we need.
Because and then we're wrapped.
And they drag me out.
Yeah, and then they just as the next guest comes in.
Yeah.
But oh damn,
What's the matter, man?
You make me
You want me
laugh.
to light- I'll
You
light
make
it.
me laugh so much that I forget what I'm
Don't
talking.
hit me
Forget
with
what
those
I'm
scissors
talking
again.
about. And I
Look at you.
right.
Oh.
Now, are you sure? I'm just going to bring this up one more time,
What?
and then I'm going to leave it alone.
What?
Circumcision. If you haven't had it done, I'm just saying
It's great.
it.
I'm just saying it's great. Okay.
Yes, it's
Calm down.
That is the essence of my message, but I can get deeper than that.
Okay.
Why is it great? Prevents disease.
Yeah.
Isn't that originally why they snipped foreskins?
Yeah. And it feels good.
Not when you're getting it done.
No. And,
No.
you know, I still remember it, though, and I was, what, 12 months old, 12 weeks?
You don't remember it. Were you circumcised?
No, of course I don't remember it.
But were you circumcised? Some people are not. Many people are not.
Okay, I'll show you, but of course I was.
Well, don't say of course. You know, there are many people who I did a bit in my act about circumcision, and I've had people...
I remember that.
Really?
No, I don't know.
And people, I have had people yell out. It's not funny. Like, of all the subjects I talk about, that's the one that they literally yell at. It's not funny. It's bodily mutilation, and people have died.
Really?
Yes, people take... Some people...
What people have died? What are we talking about?
Like, and you know what? Even if they're
did, 38 and they get circumcised.
Well,
What?
Well, obviously, something could get infected no matter when you do it, at whatever age. So I'm sure there's a certain casualty count. I don't care.
That makes two of us. Let's move on. Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I'm a one-issue candidate, and that is pro-circumcision.
That's very good.
Because it's a gross-looking thing, and it is disgusting, and it's a... Why do you think they made it that law in the Bible? Because they obviously saw from experience that uncircumcised men, you know, bad things happened to them, or God smote them or something, and so they were like, let's make this a fucking law that you gotta cut off the end of your dick.
Cut off the end of your dick. Now it's gone too far, Bill. Bill Maher, everybody, on circumcision.
No.
No, you were circumcised, right? May I see?
Not recently, but I was, thank God. Because you cannot have a pretty dick.
How dare you?
It'd be a good name for a character, wouldn't it, Mr. Pretty Dick?
Well, that's not bad.
Pretty Dick.
Captain Pretty Dick.
Pretty Dick, get in here. You're a Captain Pretty Dick. Yes.
Captain Pretty Dick.
Captain.
It's like video.
But
Are you done?
with
This, the whole thing.
no,
I'll give you another...
You're gonna have to fight me.
I'll give you another hour.
Okay. You have to fight to get rid of me because am I going to be guaranteed to be able to ever have this amazing moment with the great Chevy Chase again? No. So I'm going to milk it for all I can get out of it.
Great.
In fact, you're strapped in right now.
I'll say.
No, you're not strapped.
No, that's not a thing. That means gun, right?
Yes.
Strapped?
Yes.
Oh, no. I left my gun with my wife. He keeps taking pot shots.
Yeah. I love it when you do these ones that, like, I don't even quite get what the meaning is, but the rhythm is so good.
There you are.
And the words are so good, you know? And it's like, that is a kind of a Zen comedy that is on like 400 or 500 level. Just, you
Mel
know,
Brooks
did the same thing?
Yeah, I think I'm not.
Yeah, so,
I can't compare myself to Mel Brooks, but
well,
it's the same sort of. I don't know. It just sort of comes, I don't know, naturally or something to people.
I can compare you to Mel Brooks, and I love Mel Brooks, but two great, funny guys who've given America a zillion laughs and made a bunch of great fucking movies. So I can't compare.
He was great. He was so.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember comics like we would do that like with each other just to get each other laughing. Like we would just say a line, and it didn't really track at all. But that was what was funny about it, you know.
That it didn't track.
Yeah, like I don't want to say, you know, she was ugly, but the waiter was wearing a batting helmet. It was like, what the fuck?
What the heck?
You know, it
A
was like,
batting helmet? That's very funny.
it's funny because it's not funny. I think it's, you know,
It's the rhythm. It's the rhythm of it.
The rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're kind of a musician, right? Weren't you a drummer?
I was a drummer, and I play the piano.
Of course you
I play
do.
jazz piano,
Right.
yeah. But,
Gee,
yeah, I was a drummer for Steely Dan when we were in
Steely
college.
Dan.
And then coming out. Yeah.
Come on. The Steely Dan?
No, the other Steely Dan. the one that was awful.
Wait.
No.
Steely Dan? Like,
Yeah. Don Fagen and
of course.
Walter Becker.
So, like, you're on Ricky Don't Lose That Number or something?
No, Ricky's on it. Ricky's on that one. No, I quit before that. I wanted to be,
Wow.
honestly, I wanted to be in comedy.
Yeah.
In some fashion or another. And it all sort of started in college anyway. So, but no, I saw Don Fagen fairly recently. And
Steely Dan.
he seems very happy, and he's married. And
but musicians, when you think about almost any band, any artist, with notable exceptions like Frank Sinatra, they get a decade. The Beatles had a decade. The 60s. The Eagles had the 70s. Led Zeppelin had the 70s.
Yeah.
They didn't go into, you know, you get about a decade, and then you still work. But first of all, the parade moves on. Now the people who were your fans when they were...
We're talking about very specific kind of music.
I'm talking about almost all music. I'm saying you get a decade if you're at the top. And then...
Beethoven, for instance.
Beethoven had the 1820s was huge. I mean, like the whole...
You happen to be right.
The whole deaf thing was, you know, he still got all the tail.
Yeah.
The 1830s, suddenly it was like, I would, but you can't hear me. And I need a man.
I can't hear you.
Right.
I think it was.
I need a man who can listen.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, the Steely Dan had the 70s. Like so many, they kept making music, but yes, it doesn't reach a master audience.
It doesn't reach. That's all I'm saying.
Paul McCartney has some great.
Paul continues to reach mass audiences.
Not really. You're not going to hear Paul McCartney played anywhere where 20-year-olds. Not his new stuff. Maybe they'll do a remix of Eleanor Rigby or something and put a beat on it. But
that's an interesting thought.
Yeah, actually it is. Well, they do it all the time.
Well,
I mean, look at Elton John.
You're wrong about Paul.
He puts it out. I'm just saying, with the people, it's not going to get heavy airplay on MTV. It's just not.
Yeah.
If they're even, I don't think they're even showing stuff anymore. What am I talking about? But wherever they're showing it, you know, it's just not. I mean, you can't be 78 in music. And I mean, the Rolling Stones, I'm sure, well, they probably actually haven't put out a new album, but they used to. But when they would tour, they would play the list from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
They wouldn't play the stuff from the album that came out in 2005. It just wasn't.
Well, you know.
It's so, stuff does get overlooked.
This is another friend of mine, Mick Jagger, and a friend that, because I can't remember, it's hosting some huge show in a huge, arena, football arena.
You were?
Yeah, years ago. And both, Tina Turner and who are we talking about?
Mick Jagger.
And Mick. They ended up, I introduced them basically. Now, Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones, sir. And now Tina Turner without Ike. I don't know. Anyway,
I hope.
Then we ended up in a Volkswagen bus driving with them and the two of them behind me. I was just sitting in the front seat, and I just had
to get away from the arena.
I can't remember. Yeah, I think and Nicholson too. We were all being driven away from the show afterward.
Right.
And who's gonna know that we were in that Volkswagen bus, you know? But I just remember having a blast in there and just making fun of them, and we became friends. I mean, who makes fun of Tina Turner and Mick? You know, I do.
Right.
I'm the guy you want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes people on that level like the piss taken out of them if you do it the right way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll just throw you out of the Volkswagen bus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
many a Volkswagen bus has a dead body on the side of the road. Just check
or
it
underneath.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
But you probably, being the deft artisan you are, know how to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
I got a thing. You want to say?
Hey,
What?
if you're serious, I don't want to. I mean, if you got to go or do some shit,
Are you serious?
I'm.
You
I
think
just
you
want,
really thought I got a
just,
thing meant I had to
just
leave?
want you to be happy. I'm so flattered you're here.
I'm
so
happy. I love this.
Okay, good.
listen,
Is it too structured?
Ouch!
Do you feel it's overproduced?
Yeah,
Because that's what I get a lot.
Who's that guy behind you?
Oh,
Made you look.
I don't know where
Oh God! Look at
it's
that thing.
Trump and Clinton. Yeah, I don't know where I got these, but there's so many of the things at Club Random. I don't know where I got them, but I got them. There they are.
Well, maybe somebody got them for you. What's that over there?
That's some piece of artwork. I remember where I got that. I
Oh.
think I got that from Bud Friedman. Most of the artwork I have.
You sure do drop names, Bud Friedman.
Well, but I love Bud Friedman, and
I do.
and you know he was the owner. Is still the owner. He's retired, but I don't know, the Improv, which is the granddaddy of comedy clubs. That's what started the whole thing. Before the Improv, there was no place to be.
Were you in New York at that time? New York City?
Well, yes.
Because I was. I lived there. I mean, I grew up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I got to New York in '79.
Yeah.
Again, you were already a movie star, so we weren't hanging out.
Yeah.
But the Improv started in '62.
That's correct,
on
sir.
the West Side, and it was the first urban comedy club. Before that, comics were bad up in the Catskills. That was that training ground before the urban clubs.
Right.
And it kind of changed the whole way comedy was done. I mean, you went from the "Take My Wife, Please" guys, right, to the waiter's wearing a batting helmet. We don't even know what's funny about that, guys.
You really like that, the waiters
No,
wearing.
I do like that because it makes no sense. I like things that make no sense. Anyway, I think
thought you were just going to eat ice.
No,
Well, who can blame me?
although I have in the past. But Bud, the Improvs did very well for a while when comedy was sort of like, you know, the latest big thing in the 80s. And Bud bought a big-ass house in Beverly Hills because there were improv franchises all over the country. Mm-hmm. So while he had it, you know, and he filled it with all this really nice artwork, and then the whole thing crashed because comedy clubs were a trend. Like mid-sized cities had 6 clubs. It couldn't last, and it didn't. So I remember he had to sell all his artwork. They were moving, you know, because when the bottom went out, and like a vulture.
Yeah.
But I was invited as a vulture. He said, "Come through my house. I'm selling a lot of artwork. I'll give you this great price, but what I paid for it." And so I that's how I got a bunch of stuff that I still have.
Oh,
cheap fuck.
When will you put it in here?
Well, I don't care. Yeah, it winds up in here. But I don't care about artwork for price because it's so subjective.
I don't think you care about artwork, period.
I do care about
art.
Talk.
No.
You wouldn't know it by looking around here. Actually, you would, because it's a little kitschy, but I just like stuff that makes me feel good. And first of all, if I had an expensive painting, I'd always be worrying that what if I lost it in a fire or it would attract thieves?
Yeah.
You might like it.
That's the real problem.
And then I'd be...
Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
So... I happen to... We are artists, you know.
Who? Yeah? Us?
Yeah. Yes.
Us in particular?
Oh, I consider myself an artist.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're just an interviewer.
Thank
you very
much.
No,
we're comedy artists.
No, we are. And by the way, one of the toughest things to be an artist and get anywhere.
Well,
I mean, to see, that's why I have trouble with stand-up comedians. so many of them don't, you know, they're so desperate and they work so hard, and you know, for 15 minutes set or something, and the audiences love them. You know, some of them love them. My daughter works at the comedy store
Oh yeah,
in L.A.
cool.
So you know, I go there sometimes and watch these comics, but you know, maybe 1 in a million get further up the you know. It's not that many. And
No, as it should be. Actually, there's more comics out there than ever.
do you have an emery board?
Chevy, you asked me that?
Okay, sorry. I'll have to get it from Janie.
No. I think there actually is a glut of comedians, but that's probably because I'm a comedian.
Well, no,
So
but you're
it's
right.
like-
There is, but
Yeah.
how many of them are great? You know,
Well,
it just
some of them are great, and some of them are not great, but still sell a lot of tickets. And other words,
yeah. Okay. I don't know.
But comedy's so subjective. Who could say what's great is what tickles me? I mean, there are people who could listen to this and be like, "Who are those two idiots?
Yeah.
What the fuck are they howling about? They've not stopped laughing at each other since the beginning, since they sat down, and they're just blithering." You know? And it's like, and other people, I think, understand where we're coming from and
The other blithering idiots.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's so subjective, just like music. You know, the stupidest thing to do, I think, is ever to read a music review.
Yeah.
You can't, wait, how can you describe a song? Either I like it or I don't when I hear it.
I understand what you're saying. Do you still jerk off?
I'm so glad you've
At your age.
turned this around. Of course, don't you?
Oh, Christ. It's been 20 years.
Really? No.
But I'm not going to tell you if I jerk off.
You just asked me.
But that's all I wanted to know, if you did.
Well,
I'm not going to tell you.
you make a good point.
You said you still do.
Well, then I'm going to talk about mine. Well, it seems to be the subject
Hey,
you want
talk
to turn
about
this
mine.
conversation to. I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about it, or to.
Well, I would be ashamed if I were you.
I am.
I don't know why. You just-
I am not ashamed,
Yeah.
and I could go into great detail about my history with masturbation. I mean, it's been a lifelong love affair, I must say. It's something that is distinct from sex, although obviously it shares some properties, like the goo that's at the end of the event.
What the hell?
What?
What did you say, the goo?
The goo, you know, the man bat.
That's not bad. That's bad. What?
Well-
the goo?
Well, the goo, okay. Obviously, that is something that See, that's the kind of thing I mean. The kind of thing I mean. That Ian Esco, I was just saying there's certain properties between sex and masturbation they have in common, like an pleasure and not chore.
Hi, honey. Glad you're watching. Glad you're watching. This should be the only portion that you showed.
From sex that makes them two completely different things. Some properties of each, I would say, in the positive category, like I think touching another human is real good. But other things that you could speak well for masturbation, like you can do it in 2 minutes. You can just
2 minutes?
You can just scratch. Yes, you can just scratch that itch and get back to work. Don't you agree?
You're a sad fella.
I'm not. No.
2 minutes.
Are you saying that you've never masturbated in your whole life?
No.
That was.
No, I'm not saying that. That's what I meant.
I get it.
I'm saying, yeah.
But it was the way you cut me off.
That I
No, that you never did it just quickly to relieve the urge, the itch, much like you would milk a cow, so the cow was not bawling because it was disencumbered of the burden of that feeling, which is horniness, and then you. What?
Where are you going?
I'm explaining this. What was that? Your cow?
It was my cow.
Okay.
I had to do
That's pretty good. Now you got the dog and the cow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You're building up a whole repertoire.
I think we should really get off the subject of masturbation because...
Why?
Again, because my wife and daughter are watching. No, they're probably in hysterics.
They are probably in hysterics.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm doing all the sharing. You're not saying anything about it.
Listen,
you're just acting like Mr. Pretty Dick.
It's none of... Pretty Dick.
This is Constable Pretty Dick, who takes a dim view of discussions of masturbation in public events.
Captain Pretty Dick.
So, you know, what's the big whoop about doing something that's, first of all, it's harmless to any other human being? I mean...
Well, not in my case.
Oh, it's occasionally put an eye out.
I like that. That's funny. Good. Occasionally put an eye out. What the hell? Of the masturbator or of somebody near
Well,
him?
you shoot across the room. You don't mean it. It just happens.
I'm sorry, Kaylee.
Anyway, geez. Your kids are probably so much more good with, like, dirty talk than you are.
Oh, sure they are, yeah.
Of course they are. Because they grew up in an age that was much more... relaxed, don't you think?
I think my fucking kids are. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's good corn.
You'd love my kids if I allowed you to see them.
I was just going to say, where's the end of that sentence?
You have children, right?
I do not have children. May I talk about that without...
Thank God. What? Yeah, talk about it.
Okay, well, see, because I masturbate so much,
okay,
children.
Bam. Okay.
No,
well, let's.
No, I've never had children, to my knowledge, and you know, it's. I would say the one thing in my life that is a real constant, because I didn't like children when I was one, I didn't like them in midlife, and I don't like them now.
Oh my God, that's a sad.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. It's not sad at all. It's just personal preference. I share it with millions and millions of people. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me over the years and said, "Oh, it's so great that you talk about how much you don't like kids, because I don't like kids either." And
really?
These are just the parents.
Okay.
Okay. These are just the parents.
Just the parents. Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think it's odd that other people like children. I mean, there must be something to it. Even celebrities do it. So I don't get it, why you want to do that. But I know people get a kind of a joy out of children.
What if I just got up and attacked you now? Punch you in the forehead?
Well, we have to wrap this up soon anyway, so it'd be a good ending. And, you know, we like good endings.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we really have to wrap it up?
Yeah, we do, because I have to get back.
Now? Will you have another
interview? And this is a work night for me. I have a real job on HBO.
I thought this was your job.
This is not my job. This is
not on HBO?
This is my love. But to be able to sit and get to know somebody like you, I'll probably never get this hour again.
I'll come back.
You will?
Sure.
But we don't have to do it on camera. But would you actually, you would never actually have dinner with me, would you?
Of course I would.
You say that here.
No, you're actually
I caught you
quite funny and a very intelligent guy. I would.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You're not articulate, but that doesn't matter.
See, that's the thing. You always have it coming in behind. You never just leave it there, because it's almost like the Frank Sinatra thing about yeah, I heard it before. What do you want to drink?
No.
It's like
I think I know.
Right. It's like I would much rather have the laugh at my
at your expense.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not wounded by it. I don't think you really mean it.
Yeah.
As opposed to what? Sitting here and not laughing? You know.
Well,
so
that would be funny, actually, if there were no laughter here. And by the way, where are the cameras?
Isn't that a great question?
I know that that's one.
Yes,
but it's clearly just on you.
They're all. Well, there's two there. Look at that. 1, 2. They're so clever.
Oh yeah, that one's on me.
And look over there. They're so cleverly hidden in that even a show business veteran like you asks at the end of an hour, "Where are the cameras?" That's what I wanted when I built this place. where are the cameras? Because I don't want us to feel like we're on camera.
No.
I want us to feel like we're in a whorehouse.
We're in a whorehouse? No, that's enough. Now, bad boy.
Club Random.
Give me a hug. Oh, I have this same shirt. No, I mean not this exact shirt.
What's your last name? All right, get your filthy hands off.
Hey, my wallet.
Oh. Yeah, mine. Oh, honey.
Oh.
Where's my fucking wallet?